Hello, welcome to today's collective general reading. As always, remember to use your own discernment, join with intention, and allow the message to be received with an open heart. A quantum reminder, we are speaking through symbol and story here. So please do not rely on tarot readings as factual evidence. You are always encouraged to do your own research, especially when engaging with strangers on the internet. Hello, it has been a minute. I think this has been my longest time in between readings. Oh my, how things have changed. I recently have gained back some belongings I have been separated from for some time. So you may see some new faces, some new items, which are not new to me. It is homecoming for me. This is a tarot deck that I bought. I had bought one in high school that was, I don't know, it wasn't traditional tarot. It was its own little box kit thing. And I found that last year and I said goodbye to that. But then this, aside from that one, was my first deck. And I never really knew how to use it. I liked the back of the cards. At the time, I was just looking to move. This is, again, my late teens, early 20s. I was looking to move, big plane flying over, to a new city. And there I found a shop that had all of this mystical, esoteric, oh my goodness. I was very happy. I felt very blessed. And then when I moved 1 year later, the store was gone. So let's see. So on bottom, we have the Six of Wands. So I'm getting that you are in a powerful position. I think it also goes without saying, I have changed. I have been changing. I feel like my readings are going to be different. It may be speaking to a different collective. If you continue to be here, I am so grateful. If this is no longer a layer of realm that applies with you, I wish you all the best. As such, we carry on. So the Ace of Cups coming out when I was talking about this store, this pocket of availability. So, not pocket of availability. The ability to extend beyond what has already been placed. So what has been placed, we can talk about paradigms, we can talk about mindsets, things that have been instilled in us through our parents, our society, our shared culture, the media, all of these things, these layered truths. And I'll say truth with a little t, not a capital T, because there is something. I'm feeling a lack of a gap beneath my feet right now, kind of like wanting to put on a platform wedge of just air. And so perhaps with this being cups, there has been something, as we have 2 sixes here, it is an entering through calm. It's not that same rushed panic fear response. It's about this being an active choice. And considering how stones are different, they look different, they feel different, they move differently when they are wet, when water has been added to the equation. And here I have a bowl of shells and rocks that were submerged in water a few weeks ago, and it has slowly been evaporating. And so it's interesting when you think of the concentration of molecules and the coming together of atoms. And we can talk about this being matter, we can talk about consciousness, we can talk about core deeper selves. Again, I speak at a quantum level, but I then extend the quantum to the magnum, I don't know, to the bigger, to the more, and we can say to the universal, to the cosmos, to consciousness and source. We can also talk about micro, meso, macro. My brain is just like, no, actually, we don't want to talk about social science and academia at this desk at this time. But something about you have changed, and look, it doesn't appear to be wet, yet the moisture continues inward. My throat there. I'll take some water. Some water. Okay. So we seem to be moving into I'm getting a more regal pace here. I'm noticing that, interesting, yeah, it has been decided that their shoulders are pulled back, are fairly regal and confident, and here is leaning over, but not in a way of a lack of confidence, in way of in motion. I just noticed that there's a small person here. I always thought, and perhaps this deck is a little different than the ones I normally use, I'd always thought it was a man and then a blonde woman. And now I wonder, is it a man and then a small child and then someone cloaked? Is the gender not something that is obvious at the beginning? And so perhaps the characters in your own story are changing. So what's going on with these new characters? Strength. So strength had appeared on the cut earlier. So this could be, I'm getting just positive, just great, just wonderful people in your life, beautiful people showing up. We're gonna do the Empath's Oracle here, just to get a card for if it's these persons or a person. Some new relation. It may also not be like human person. It could be relationship with yourself, relationship with spirit, with your guides. It could be ancestors. If you go galactic, could do that. No, missed it. '18, confronting inner demons. And so perhaps what it is that we are getting from these new people, from these old returns, yes, as truthfulness and impartiality, something of not being blinded through rose-colored glasses, not just being excited to be there, etc., etc. And so you're missing things that are actually coming up for you. Perhaps something, blah, 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 words. Perhaps this was something in the past. Getting this with, I chose a red candle, and I normally would go white, but for some reason it was like, no, red today. So what are you sensing beneath the surface to do with this situational human sphere? Okay, we're just channeling here. And this is from House of Scry. This is Steph's deck, I believe it's Old Souls Oracle. Okay, not yet. Just stretching, they're saying. Oh, one fell. I don't even know where. Okay. Aries, the Emperor, number 1. Ram, Mars, fire. Okay, inner demon, and we're getting now fire, Mars energy. So perhaps there's I wanted to say something unhealed, and I'm like, there is something unhealed within us all. We aren't just birthed onto this deck with everything tucked in order. There is a shift. So what is shifting for with you? Let's see. Not sure if you can see, but I finally have my books back for these 2 sacred geometric decks. I have been just intuitively reading for almost a year. So I'm curious for the times that the book wants to show. And speaking of a book showing, it's waiting for the instruction manual when really you've been doing it intuitively, you've been doing it naturally this whole time. But now that there's an expectation of, oh, the answers just sit somewhere, well then surely I must find out if I have been doing it wrong. It's not about doing wrong or being wrong. 21 Mayan Dream with 3 Tzolk'in. Now here I believe this is a Mayan calendar situation, and so you know what? Let's check the book. Let's check the book. Number 7, owl, raven, yin yang. So this is our balance as key. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. I can finally check these books and I can confirm things. Now, I should also be intuitively reading this. I should not just rely on what someone else has informed to me. It's on me to actually come up with my own understanding. Yes, interpretations of things. This rock is dry doesn't mean that the water has not already entered sphere. I'm seeing 3 dots on that upside down triangle. I am looking up Tzolk'in. Yes, the Mayans. And that's enough. I'm gonna continue on with what was intuitively coming through. But was that helpful to have a coordinate, to have somewhere to confirm things to? Yes, absolutely. This is my little wax blob that showed up a few weeks ago and now is just this, it's almost like a worry stone of wax on the table. And here I'm seeing that we have circular and then we have squarular. And these also feel like ram antlers, tying in over here with Aries and Ram. So there's a cycle that we're doing again. We can choose the easy route and we can choose the hard route. It's like pushing a square tire up a hill or rolling a circular tire down a hill. It is the direction you take, and it is the shape which takes form. So how are you choosing to go about navigation for what it is that you are desiring to confirm? That's the thing. You're looking for a confirmation. This isn't a confirmable land. There is always... I don't like speaking in always, in Zuto, in something being constant, consistent, forever. Number 36, water, lake, earth. So I am getting that this, place this on our wax here. This is an entry point. With it being a 9, it's an exit. I'm seeing all of these shells. And all of these little curvular points and the evolution of curve, landing now on regality. On bottom we have 32, water, spring, earth. Again, we have 2 entry points, né? But here you need to change your perspective so that you can then be above the water and then going inside. Again, we have this consistent theme of water going inside, water asking to be put inside. So what in and of you is asking to be nurtured? This could be an inner child situation if you're curious or familiar with IFS, internal family systems. That's a whole smack of knowledge there. It's interesting because I'm reading differently as I am different, and having the thought of what would I normally say, but that thinking again is before the water could seep in and smooth this glass. It's having the expectation that something needs to be a certain way and I need to get back to it. Says who? Place some of that water on this deck. Why do we keep setting up this expectation for ourselves that things need to be the exact same? Do we not want to grow? Do we not want to evolve? 34, silence, snow. I'm also noting we're getting a lot of 30s. So something with 3 plus 3 for me is Antakarana, divine connection with spirit through crown consciousness is one way that I will phrase it right now. But here I'm getting this motion that you are seeking. Is there peace? This portal that you are to go through, see if we do it this way, okay? If we start with confronting our inner demons and actually taking the ram by the horns, as they would say, and going through the portal, to create a new connection point of peace. And look at this little rabbit that I could barely see. I don't think I've ever seen that rabbit before. If I have seen that rabbit, it has not stood out. But now that I am in a calmer, I keep saying realm. I keep saying realm and sphere. So those are new words that are coming up here today. So I wonder if they will continue showing up for you. Let's do a bit of tarot. And thank you all for your patience. I know I have definitely not been here in a minute, and I am now, okay, we're gonna be getting back to at least 2 videos per week for public, at least 1 for the members. Because I don't know what that is, but I was having the thought of, I'm now scheduling these out and having to build this into my day, as opposed to where can I put this? I need to place it. I need to place it, confirm it, process it, actualize, move through, and then beyond. 5 of Tides, which 5 of Cups I think was the first card on this deck. That was on the bottom. That's very interesting that the 5 of Cups returns. So here's this trouble point. And trouble doesn't mean like bad or negative or, you know, demonic or anything like that. It's just choppy waters. It's just additional opportunity for difference. We have the 6 of Spires, the 6 of Swords, flipped with the Hierophant. And I'm getting that this constant flip is they're not seeing each other. They're not connecting yet. There's a sense of being along this bridge and trying to connect what is already there, but this doesn't feel as mobile. You're like, I would need to pack up shop. I would need to leave. I would need to take everything down. Travel, we have Taurus, again, this ram energy. I know that Taurus is not the same, but etc. I'm talking about antlers here. So I am getting a masculine forwardness, and I am also being reminded of ancient Mesopotamia. If there's anything that connects you through, across, within those times, that may be something coming forward. Because the details aren't even coming forward. It's just being brought to me to remind us of times. Therefore, Babylonian. And if I align these on one another, it does become easier to flip. And without seeing the distraction of this backing, to just see the message clearly, to be able to flip sides. Again, another 6, this calming point. So here I am getting this in terms of spirituality, spiritual practice, something that you're doing. It could be ritual. I don't know if it has layers with religion, tradition, culture, with family, ancestry, home, but something natural, this natural fire burning inside you. And what you're doing is trying to repair that connection with your mind. Perhaps it's something that you would normally fight against. I'm seeing here we have this raven and this owl, and they both take flight. They always have the opportunity to go in the same direction, and they have as many opportunities to separate. So you are trying to configure how it is that your spirit and your mind can connect as one. So perhaps connecting with your own inner Hierophant, inner flame fire. I know I'm using these things out of the pocket of how traditional tarot has them, and we're just moving through this reading together. What is something that can help you with this portal to peace? Cast it. Very interesting falling, people. Very interesting the way it fell. I felt that I had passed the card that it was, and perhaps that was a previous. That was how it was before. On bottom we have the Emperor, which is back to the Emperor here. So you make a decision, you stick to that decision. I'm not saying be stubborn or be strong mind, like, you know, so strong-willed that you're not willing to collaborate and flex with people. But there's something about this divine masculine energy of you said you were going to, so do it. And not things that, you know, you told yourself a long time ago and that no longer really align. If you said you're going to do that thing and you really want to do that thing, if you are the only one stopping you, why are you stopping you? Why are you stopping yourself? Where does that come from? Somewhere internal there. We have the 3 and 8 of spires, of swords. Now, 3 of spires is traditionally about heartbreak in some form or another. Here I see it's this over the cliff. It's this what's done is done energy. Loving the same color story here. And the 8 of spires is my card for faith. And so despite the tragedies, the comeuppance, the whatever it is that you have had to struggle through, there's another piece of magic on the other side. So it is having faith, knowing that you will come out through. What is, okay, no, there's different words that want to come out. It's interesting how you would think that these should perhaps be flipped. Perhaps it's first we have the heartache, the 3 of swords, and then we develop the faith, etc., etc. But actually what this is saying to me is that you need to have faith because bad days will come. You can't just have faith that you will have no bad days. That's unrealistic, and that's not how Earth works. That's not how life is. There's always going to be something that pops up. Always. What do you do when it arrives? Ace of Stones. You start something new. You learn another way. You ground it into Earth realm. Again, realm, returning. And seeing these aligned with the shells, with strength peeking over. Is that a little piece of something on my card? Or is that just the card? No. So, I don't know what that was. A little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Something of, you can clean it up. You can tidy. There's no one telling you that you should not, well, they may be telling you this, but there's no one that you need to listen to who is telling you that you need to do your life a certain way. It has to look like this. If it's not this, it's going to be wrong. Da-da-ba-da-ba-da. Like, no one can tell you where that point is in your hand. I don't know how to explain it, but there's just different points. And then if I want to point somewhere, then I can, okay, I know where that point is. If there's somewhere else on my hand that wants me to, okay, I know where that is. And my hand has the feeling receptors to receive the signal that I am inputting with this pressure, right? Pressure is input. And so when other people are telling you, oh, you really need to make sure you do blah, and like, let's say they're telling you something to do over here, or that's how you receive it, and then they smack you over on this side. 1, don't smack me, rude. 2, you person outside of me, you have no understanding for where my sensors are. So there's always going to be people in our family, in like our loved ones, our chosen family, our friends, our bosses, our colleagues, the media, people out there, politicians. Like, there's always going to be someone telling you what you should do, believe, and value, and act on. And the sooner you learn how to intuitively locate pieces, parts within your own system, no one else could find that place but me. I'm not saying that no one else has that place. I'm saying that everyone has their own place. But I am the only one who can find my own. And perhaps with this, there was something here of a new person, new people in your life. Perhaps you are coming across people who can help you find those points. They're a good mirror for you, a good reflective point. Perhaps that is what's bringing this peace. And again, it may not be a human person in front of you. It could be an ancestor. It could be working with spirit. It could be working with a deity. It could be someone at your work that honestly you just find them very calming to be around. You enjoy their demeanor. There's something I'm seeing inside this orange here. It feels almost like bricked held. And this being ocean jade that only comes from one place in the world on a coast of Madagascar. Correct me if I am wrong, but I think of all of the layers that this has gone through and all of the ocean that has come visited this. What is this? This little orange layer, what happened? What brought this in? I don't know. You won't always know the answers to things. What do you do with the amount given provided? How much more, like when I checked this book, the book below, how much more do you need to locate for you to then be in a place where you have everything available to you for your decision-making capabilities, capacities, opportunities, chances? There's that song, Everybody Wear Sunscreen. It's from the Romeo and Juliet soundtrack. The version on Spotify is not the version I like, but if you can find it on YouTube, I really like it. And there's one part of the song that says, your choices are half chance, so are everybody else's. Yeah. So if you feel like taking, I'm not saying quit your job, date that person, break up with that person, move cross country. Like, I'm not telling you what to do, of course. And ask yourself, do some journaling, look in a mirror, speak to yourself, figure out, are you wanting to take a risk on whatever it is that this positive piece is that's showing up? You can choose any direction to go in. You are not stuck. An opportunity being brought to you does not mean it's the only opportunity that this will exist in. And this being a darker shell with a little bit of water, it's the first watered shell we've had, pointing in a new direction. Does it align here with our northeast, southwest? Somewhat. It's a coordinate, né? It's telling us somewhere to go. It doesn't need to automatically fully align with everything we already have set up to be telling us which direction to choose. Or if we were to follow through in any kind of direction where that would lead. Perhaps you can't always go back. You can always return to somewhere, to something, to some sense, to a layer. Yeah, layer, realm, and sphere. So I'm getting a very circular, layered in, but as I try and express this shape that I can conceptualize, but I cannot turn into physical reality to show you, to illustrate this, I'm noticing that what I'm doing is really washing my hands. So you're washing your hands of something, you are self-cleansing, you are ridding, you are saying goodbye, and or you are preparing to say hello. You wash your hands when you're done throwing out the garbage, and that's that, and then you start fresh. And then before you touch someone you love, you want to wash your hands to make sure that you are clean, that you are healthy for them, that the good influence is mutual, two ways, interchangeable. So what relation in your life is asking for you to take a moment, take pause, to rinse and repeat with love? Wow, what a different message. So, thank you for being here. If this message resonates with you, you can like this video, comment down below, and subscribe to hear from me more often. I forgot to say this earlier. In the description, you'll find a link to my Substack, which hosts the 444 Collective, where the signal is active, as well as my Buy Me a Coffee, where you can get some personal readings or private or experimental integration sessions. Okay, folks, stay tuned.